Hello, Million Dollar Babes. We are live. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. And we are going to get started. I cannot wait to share what I have in store for you. Let me pull up my notes. Hello, Million Dollar Babes. Okay, we are live. I can hear myself. Oh my goodness. Okay. Amazing, amazing. Let me know. All right. So today we're talking about how to 10x your income in your current spiritual business without constantly feeling blocked. You guys know I am a human design projector, and everything I start picking up in the field and I see repeatedly, I know that it's time to talk about it here. If you feel like you're doing this stop and go thing in your business, if you feel like you are feeling blocked in your income or your business, this training is going to show you exactly what's happening, pull the curtain back, and show you what things are happening that you're co-creating. I know that's hard to hear sometimes, that are keeping you stuck. So even if I can promise to just 2x your business, but 10x your product or your profits, I think this training is definitely going to be worth your time. Hi, Christian. I'm so excited to have you here. And if you guys would like to upgrade to VIP, I believe it's like $20 a month, something like that, to have access to the chat, the community, and some exclusive live training. I think there's 10 live trainings that you get with the Million Dollar Babes membership. Okay. So I have been hearing this in the field. I'm blocked, Mina. I'm blocked. I'm blocked. I'm blocked in my business. I want to tear it all down. I want to start over. And then this thing happened where I was like, okay, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I have to go and talk about this. So I met this woman in a mastermind a while ago, and we started following each other and on Facebook, but I don't really post on Facebook. I'm not active on there, but she was supposedly her business was on Facebook. So, anyways, we became friends, and I noticed something really interesting that I wanted to bring to your attention in case you're doing this. So on day one, that I started following her, she posted a quote, a just like a happy, what is it? Like a inspirational quote. Okay. She had already told me she uses her Facebook for her business. I'm like, okay, amazing. Day two, she posted a little something about how proud she was of her daughter. Day three, she posted when her birthday was and what kind of things she wanted as gifts. Everyone with me? Day four, she posted that the cart was closing and there was a link. No name, no what is it, who it's for, what are the payoffs, just the cart is closing. This was day four. On day six, in the group of the Facebook group that we're in the mastermind where I met her, she posted that no one bought her offer and that she was blocked. So I was like, maybe I just didn't see the rest of her offer. So I went to her previous page of all, that was the only thing she had ever posted. And she was mad that no one bought it. She never posted the link and any other social media. Remember, she told me she was only on Facebook. Is she blocked, or she just doesn't have any marketing skills? She's telling these stories that she's blocked and that her audience isn't responding, but she did nothing to sell the click. She did absolutely zero. In fact, when I see things like that, I think it's spam because I'm not going to click on a random link that I don't even know. I don't even know the name. There's no curiosity. There's no like, wow, I wonder if this is for me. There's no storytelling. There's no engagement. Okay. What if your blocks were actually gaps in marketing skills, emotional intelligence, and consistent presence on social media? I want you to seriously consider this for a moment because I literally see this all the time. My own clients have done it. I've seen it with my students. I've seen it with other people in the industry. What if when these gaps are filled, your income and impact would exponentially increase? Let me know if this is making sense. Give me a yes in the chat, throw me a heart, throw me a like, and let me know. And I will give you some really big behind the scenes secrets of what's actually happening. Why so many people are posting, but only so many are making money. Why are the other people ready to quit every single day? Why are they feeling blocked? Why are they wanting to burn down their business? Okay. So here's secret number one. Let me know if you're ready for this. Okay, I'm starting to get some hearts. Yes, 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 100%. Okay, here is secret number one. You're not blocked. Say, I'm not blocked. You just haven't learned how to market and sell intuitively. You don't know how to actually get someone's attention and how to get emotional resonance so that people are interested in the products that you have to sell. Okay, so spiritual entrepreneurs, a lot of times they have the spiritual know-how, but they don't have the marketing know-how. They don't have the sales know-how. They don't have the energetic and masculine strategy. You need both. And a big problem in the industry that I've experienced is that you can either get energetics or you can get strategy, but a lot of times they don't align. And what I've learned in my own journey, 8 figures and scaling to nine now, is that you need both, and you need both in the way where it actually communicates. One of the reasons that I think a lot of women are scared to go and like actually get these skill sets is there's a lot of resistance due to like deep rooted shame. It's a deep rooted shame for women around owning their worth, around owning their sacredness, and about especially about charging. Oh my God, women have so many stories, internal shame around charging for their work. They're like scared to own wealth and visibility unapologetically. So instead of going and learning the skill sets that men have had for a while, because they've been doing this for a while, we're new to the game, they sit around making these stories. So recently, in the pregame of my new class, Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union, my husband and I led a pregame training on shameless, unleashing the naughty girl. And this training is worth 1,111, and we literally just included it in the Desires course. And so much came up for women around shame. Some of it wasn't even their own. We talked about shame transference from other people around you. We even talked about like intergenerational stuff that can pass down, we know now epigenetically through the womb, not just your mother's womb, but your grandmother's womb. And so when we have this shame around selling and that we're bad for our work, then it's like we show up online and we're posting inspirational quotes. Or have you read this book that I read? Versus, hey, I'm talking to you. This is my product. This is what I can do. These are the results that you're going to get. This is what you're going to learn. Like instead of selling the thing, we hide behind like this woman was doing inspirational quotes. This thing about my daughter. My birthday is coming up. Here's the link. To what? You didn't even sell me the click. I did not even click on the link. There's no reason for me to click on a random link on the internet unless there's some kind of a resonance that I'm curiosity of like, oh, what's this? Is this for me? Okay. So I feel that this is something that happened to me as well. And I've never, like, I don't have a problem making money. I was raised by someone that was a businesswoman and she was always okay with making money. However, when I started my YouTube channel, for like the first 6, 7 years, I was just sharing content for free, valuable content that I had spent lots of years and money and time and focus and blood, sweat, tears to learn, but I wasn't charging for it. And a few people I'm sure I made an impact on, but most of the time, I was getting into like, I remember this one story where someone reached out. It was actually a family friend, it was a friend of a friend's. And she had had a baby and she was really struggling to lose weight. And it was causing a rift in her marriage. And she had seen me have my babies on YouTube and share like my journey. And she started messaging me asking for advice. And I wasn't a life coach at this point, I was just sharing. So I would stay up. I know this is so stupid now. I like even hate telling the story until like 2 a.m. coaching her for free and her marriage and her relationship with her body, issues with her in-laws, one by one, everything started getting resolved in her life. And like she came alive. We were friends on Facebook, and you can see she was like feeling sexy in her body, and then she just disappeared. And about 6 months after her life had turned around with my free coaching, I liked one of her pictures. And so she went out of her way to private message me. What do you think she private messaged me? Do you think she was like, thank you so much for your free coaching? Nope. Nope. That's not what she messaged me. She said, hi, thank you for liking my post. I just wanted to make it really clear that my weight loss or my marriage improvement had nothing to do with your coaching. I just wanted you to know that I did it all by myself. Bye. And I'm like, why not just say nothing? I literally spent like 6 months of my life coaching this woman for free. She would get into fights with her mother-in-law and message me, and I would be there for hours on Facebook communicating with her. She would get into these things with her husband and be a crying mess, and I would drop everything to go and console her. Absolutely for free. And I had young kids, I had my own marriage, I was dealing with my own autoimmune stuff at the time, all of it. And that one incident, this has been a pattern for me on YouTube. I was like in the comments helping people, like all of the stuff. But that one thing woke me out of it. And I realized what my mom had always taught me, just people don't value free. That if you want to be respected, become expensive. People value expensive. They value what they invest in. And I'm so glad for that one experience because the fact that why not just ignore me? Just like whatever. She went out her way to make sure that it was that I didn't somehow help her, that I did not get any credit for that, even though I wasn't looking for it, right? And so when we have this shame around selling, around like charging our worth, around imposter syndrome, all these things, it's actually us not having the skill sets to show up and do the thing, but we're hiding. And so it gets twisted as I'm blocked. What if you remove that emotion out of it? There's a cleanse. It's I think a 40-minute cleanse inside of the Desires course. Like I highly recommend that itself is worth the price of that course. The price right now is 222. I highly recommend every woman. We're going live in there in August, 3 days, 15th, 16th, and 17th. But I highly recommend you go do that cleanse. It's a shame cleanse. Because once you do that, you're going to have a clean slate and then you can actually learn marketing techniques versus being so ashamed that you're just posting random stuff and then just posting a link, hoping no one clicks and then saying you're blocked. Yeah? So that's in the description box. I'll pin it to the comments. It's just what's in there right now with the pre-work is the value of 1,111 and it's 222. And we haven't even started the other live calls. It's 3 hour, more than 3 hours worth of content that is going to completely shift the way you see shame and guilt and the way you actually process and clear that so that you can learn the skills you need to learn and stop telling stories. Stop telling stories. Okay. Here's secret number 2. Secret number 2 stems from this story that you're doing it all wrong. That I've done something wrong, I'm doing it all wrong. And it creates this distortion in your mind of like, oh, it's because I don't have a niche. Or um, I don't have the right people in my audience. Or the people in my audience actually don't have any money. Girl, you don't have a niche problem. You don't have an audience problem. You don't have a money problem. You have a consistency problem. And so here what happens is a lot of women, right, they're sharing, they're, showing up, and right when the thing is about to take up, like if it was that plant analogy, you planted the thing, you're watering it, it's getting sunlight, you're tending to it. But right before the plant is starting to sprout, you go, oh, this isn't working, and you stop watering it. Who is guilty of this? Who has done this? Where the thing starts showing up, the momentum is just starting to build, and now you've changed niches. Or now you've closed down. Like I had a mentor, I still love her to pieces, still in contact with her. This was like years ago, that would get to like 500K following and then change niches and burn it down and start at zero. Not just like I'm going to change niches with the 500 people, 500,000 people, sorry. She would burn the whole Facebook account down, shut it down and start at zero. And then right when she would be at another 500,000, she'd burn it down. She's still doing that, by the way. And this woman is brilliant, brilliant in her gifts. One of the best mentors I've ever had. But it's like, girl, you're not letting anything build. You're not having momentum. And so you could be the smartest, most gifted person, but people that let momentum build with half your skill set, one third of your skill set, 1 ounce of your skill set and your expertise will pass you by because they let momentum build. They're not constantly shifting directions, believing that the next niche or the next strategy will finally validate their worth and dissolve insecurity. They are showing up with confidence. They're showing up with, like, I'm building something here. I'm pouring into something here. I'm letting something compound. I'm letting my mastery and the momentum build. And so you want to make sure that you are not constantly hopping to the next thing, like literally stop stopping. Because as you keep coming in and you're putting in the reps and you're doing the thing, right? Like this is the best example of this that I heard, that you could be on the best diet on the planet and the best nutrition plan and the best fitness plan, but if you keep stopping and going, someone who's on like the worst diet plan but is showing up consistently to following it will pass you because their consistency of result, even though they are smaller or clunkier, eventually will compound. Christian said, yes, me, burning things down, right? Instead of letting things evolve, doesn't mean you can't change things. Like I'm always growing and evolving, but instead of burning down, I'm refining. I'm adding, I'm deleting, I'm still moving forward. It's still an act of forward moving versus stop and go and doubt and go and stop and go and doubt and I'm not right? Because that's not something that can compound. So that's another big thing of people. And let me also talk about, oh my God, telling stories. Never believe someone when they say they don't have the money. I can't tell you how many people in like I've had this business now for 9 years. And even in my real estate business that I had for 6 years before that, how many people say I don't have the money? But when they want it bad enough, they go and get the money. Human beings are so resourceful. I know I'm like that too. Even when I didn't have money, if I wanted something, I'd go make the money. I'd create the money. There's nothing that I ever wanted that I didn't get because I didn't have the money. So this is the same as like every human when they want it bad enough. So when you are telling stories, you're projecting that your clients or students don't have money. There's a couple things. One, your messaging might be calling in broke people. That's one thing. That's something we could shift in one instant. And secondly, there's all kinds of people in your audience, all kinds of people. But you're focused on and projecting that they don't have the money when you should be looking at your marketing skills. If you don't have a certain like sales formula, then it will always feel like they don't have the money and they'll tell you that. They will tell you, I don't have the money because you haven't made a good enough offer to them yet. You haven't sold the offer. And so here's the thing, when you say they don't have the money, you can't do anything about that. So you feel blocked. But when you're like, ooh, I didn't sell this offer the best to my ability, I need better skill sets, there's something we can do about that. So on August 6th, which is in 2 days, in Kainat, I'm spending 7 hours with my girls in there going over like sales strategy, like the exact science of emails, of like live streams, of recorded content, of reels, of TikTok, stories, and what the exact science is, we've been fixing the energy. We got the energy. Now it's like, okay, here's the actual things you do. And then when you infuse it with energy and then you put momentum behind it, that's the funnel that just keeps working. It just keeps growing and compounding. That's what's missing. But I think a lot of spiritual people also confuse their spirituality with their business. So they're turning everything into a spiritual thing versus saying, oh, okay, yeah, here I just don't have proper skills. I'm not good at writing emails. I don't know what I'm supposed to be writing the emails. I don't know the proper sequence to send out emails. I actually don't know what to put in my stories, so I keep posting pictures of my food or my cat. But that's not going to sell your course unless you're using a certain strategy to sell where the cat fits into that offer, or you going out to eat fits into that offer. Yeah? Give me a heart if this is resonating with you before we move on to secret number three. Okay, the next one is it's my audience, right? Or it's the people that I'm attracting. That's a big one. A lot of people think, oh, I'm attracting this kind of client, or I'm like every time I get this many number, I can't handle it. What can happen here is you haven't learned to unlock the next level of emotional mastery and resilience. And I told this story before, but there was a client in one of this was before Kainat. Before Kainat, I had another like 1 year container with me. And so this woman was in a 1 year container and she went from like 10K months to 100K months in 6 months of that container. And once that container ended, um, I like lost track of her. She wasn't like in any of my other courses or things like that. And she just kind of fell away for a while. And then when I was launching something else, she came to my mind. So I'm like, oh, I wonder where so and so is. And so I searched her up, knowing that her business was on Facebook. So I searched her up and I couldn't find her business. So I was like, huh. Um, I remember her entire business was on Facebook. I searched her on YouTube, can't find her. Instagram, can't find her. So I private messaged her. I said, hey, you popped up in my head. How's everything going? And this is like now, like maybe a year, like since I had worked with her. And she's like, oh my God, I like burned down the business. I don't have the business anymore. And I'm like, what? You were at 6K months, like 6 figure months, not 6K, 6 figure months, 100,000 plus a month. I said, what happened? And she said that she got some really difficult clients. Someone had asked her for a refund. Like this one thing happened with a client and she burned down the entire business. And I was like, girl, do you know how many complaints Amazon gets every hour? Do you know how much customer support they handle? Do you think that Jeff Bezos falls apart because someone calls and says the package arrived wet? Or I ordered a red dress and got a green one. That's just the cost of doing business, right? Yeah, sometimes there's gonna be more difficult clients. There's gonna be people that have a different opinion than you have. There's even people in the industry that steal stuff. I've experienced this. Well, they'll come in, binge watch everything their other coaches, and then they'll come and complain and try to get their money back so they can now go teach what they just learned from you without paying you. It's just the industry that we're in. Every industry has their things, right? And so, do you think Jeff Bezos, like, let's just close down the business? Someone's complaining that the package arrived wet. No, they handle millions of complaints a day, probably. It's like hundreds of things, right? Like thousands. And so, what can happen is when you hit the edge of your emotional capacity, when you hit the edge of your skill sets, instead of saying, okay, scaled up to here. I did this, amazing. Now I need support to go to the next level. Now I need to play on the edge. I want to play full out. I want to handle, I want SOPs. I want conflict resolution. I need processes of what to do when this happens and what to do when this scenario happens. And how do I emotionally and energetically walk myself through it? But what people do is like, oh no, this one person wanted a refund and they said she hated everything. When we've had this, and we don't have this a lot anymore. In the beginning, when I was new and I needed to expand my emotional capacity, there were these couple of women that I had attracted, and I think they were friends. They would sign up for everything, binge watch everything, get the most out of the Q&As, ask questions, and every single time after the thing would complete, write messages complaining about the pricing, my coaching, everything, and then sign up for the next thing. And then come in there, consume everything, ask all the questions, get all the coaching, write me emails complaining about how I was a scam artist because I was charging so much. I was charging $2,500 at the time for like really deep, like basically what I give in kainat. Like, of course, my expertise level wasn't as much then, but even then, given my all, always playing on the edge, right? For 2,500, and they would come and complain. They would stalk my website. So let's say that I have something for 2000 and I change the price to 2500, I would get nasty emails. You bitch, you should be ashamed of yourself. And then they would sign up. Do you think I shut down my business? Or I was like, how do I price myself out of this? How do I energetically price myself out of it? So I took that 25K offer and I made it to 10K. I revamped it. I repriced it. I got new energetics behind it. I toughened myself up. They left my world really quickly after that because they were 2,500K women. They weren't 10K women. But in order, it wasn't just the price change. I had to become the 10K woman. I couldn't, when I was the 2K woman, they were coming in complaining, but buying. I was the 25K women. They were coming in and buying, but complaining. So I said, if I go to 3K, they can still come. 4K. Okay. Mina, we're gonna channel Sheena. We're gonna use some of your mom's energy, and we're just gonna price energetically, physically, monetarily price ourselves out. I've never heard from them or seen them ever again. I don't know what happened with their coaching businesses. They don't exist. Because in a 10K woman, a 15K woman, a 25K woman, my private coaching package starts at 88K now, goes up to there with my celebrity clients paying way more for more high touch. It prices energetically. It's my mom used to say that a lot of people can have a lot of opinions about cheap things because it's cheap. And some people, like for example, someone that pays $50 a night for a hotel, they can have a lot to say about that. And they can even comment on the 150K room, $150 a night room, hotel room. And they can even comment about the 200, like, oh my God, who would pay $200 a night for a hotel room? They don't know about the 30K, $30,000 room. They don't even go to those hotels. They don't even know those tiers exist. And so, like, there is another level of mastery. It's not just about price, it's really about this energetic luxury, this spiritual groundedness, that's mastery that comes from inside out, knowing your worth, knowing your skill set, knowing what you bring as far as your transformations and the things you lead people through. They don't, they can't even comment. I'll give you another example of this. So when I would, you guys know I have my main channel, the Universe Guru YouTube channel. And then I have the second channel I started 4 years ago. And in this channel, I wanted, in the beginning, it was just kind of like luxury hauls and stuff. And I wanted to be able to talk about money and business and kind of the behind the scenes of my other business, my Universe Guru business. And I had the chat open to everyone in my live streams, and I would be talking about money, right? How I made millions and how I've launched over 200 offers. And there were women in there just petty, talking about lipstick or, but my man did this and my mother-in-law this. And it's like we're trying to have these really amazing high level like conversations that are going to change women's like history collectively, like the lineage, like the opportunity we have now to not even leave our house and make the amount of money that we can make. And these women are talking about how they don't like my eyebrows, how I don't know how to put lipstick on. So I'm like, what would my mom say? She would say become expensive. So I'm like, okay, $20. I made a $20 membership. The chat changed. Even though it's $20 a month, but the people that pay that $20 a month to have access to these live stream chats, completely different vibe. I did the same thing on my main channel. Most of the other YouTubers I know, my friends, they were like, oh no, I don't know why you're live streaming still. When you get to like over 20,000 followers, you cannot live stream. People will come and they'll be rude and this and this. I'm like, yeah, or we can just price people out. There is an energy of cheap. There's an energy of free. It's an energy of ungratefulness. It's an energy of what else can I take? It's an energy of it's not good enough. Give me more. Not everyone, but a lot of people will do this. And so that needs to come from your inner authority, your belief. I know that what I'm offering, it took me over $1 million, almost 45 years of experience, blood, sweat, tears, making so many millions in my business, learning so many lessons in my life. It's worth something. I can't have, free people in the chat like, I don't like your lipstick. Even $20 can completely change who you're speaking to because now they're going to listen. And here's the thing, the more you charge, the more you're able to charge, the more inner authority, the more belief, the most different people in the room. Do you know I was having this conversation with my daughter? She's 11. And she was asking me a question. We were out to lunch and I said to her, babe, I was like, it's it's so much easier to make a lot of money than to make a little bit of money. And she was like, whoa. She said, what does that mean? I said, it's so hard to make a little bit of money, but so easy to make a lot of money. And then I explained it to her using our model that she knows. She understands my courses, my containers. And she was like, wow. She's like, that's why people who make a little money, it's hard for them. I said, yes. Make it's just make more money, make a lot of money. If you're ever thinking your work is hard, it's because you're making too little. Work will be really hard when you're making little. The people that you're dealing with, the circumstances that they bring, the consciousness that they have, it's very different. And so, one thing collectively as women that we need to learn to do is get out of this paradigm of free. Do you know that I do not consume free content? I cannot be consuming what everyone else is consuming. I cannot be consuming what's fed into ChatGPT. Do you know that we just got a few months ago, they emailed us asking for permission to feed all of my free content to ChatGPT now, to train it into feminine energetics and masculine energetics, right? So imagine if that's what everyone knows, it's all the free content, that you think that's what I'm plugging into to scale to nine figures? No, no. I don't want free. I don't want what everyone else is having. I want expensive. I want exclusive. I want to be in the room with A players that are willing to invest in themselves, that have different mindset. They travel different, they think different. They invest in themselves differently. They have different inputs and they have different outputs. They're not living in the mediocrity, like the same grids that everyone else is plugged into. Someday, maybe, I can't do it. Something's wrong with me. I see so many social media ads for free, extremely low ticket offers. And here's the thing. The more you see that, the more it's like, whose do you do, right? And now even low ticket is becoming free. And so I've noticed in my own behavior, the more I spend for something, the more likely I'm there to show up and be serious. I just ditched a $5,000 container last month. So I'm like, hold on. Okay, I've got this, and this. This is that much value. This is what it's teaching that. I'm like, I spent 25K for that one. Let me do that first. It's just human nature. Not that that container is bad. It's just we all have a certain number of hours, right? I'm gonna prioritize the one that's forcing me to go all in. That's like, you invested in here. Show up. I'll probably go do that some other time. I paid for it, but not this time. So when you are energetically pulling people into a higher calibration because you've got that sorted for yourself, you're not confusing your own spirituality and your own inner work with your business all the time. You're showing up emotionally current. You're showing up as if you are a CEO, right? Like I always like to say, like, you play like a goddess. You have play, pleasure, provision, all of those things as a goddess. But you're earning like a CEO. You're earning like the brilliant genius mastermind that you are. Don't confuse the two. Don't bring all your own inner work constantly into your business. Because can you really hold space for your people, for those high level people, for the people that are fun to work with, that get results, that are all in, they're invested, they're like ready to go deep with you. I lost my place in my notes. I'm going, okay. So before I take questions, if you guys have any questions, if you're ready to dissolve shame and fully own all your desires and master the energetic, emotional, and like the emotional intelligence required to be able to really set your marketing and sales skills in order, like really show up with consistency, like fun consistency. Join me inside Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union. So right now, and actually let me, I think I can show you guys what the backhand looks like, just so you know what it's like. Let me actually go and show you. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what the backhand looks like of that. Okay, I'm going to drop the link first in the chat so you can kind of like follow along. I think it's going to let me screen share on this, even though I'm live on YouTube. Christian, you'll have to let me know if you can see it. Okay, it's not showing it to me. Okay, can someone let me know if you can see my screen? I know there's a little bit of a lag. So if you go onto the link for my Zoom, okay, but can you see like the desires, the desire sales page, the screen share part? Okay, perfect. So you go here. So this is the desires sales page. Oh my God, these are just like the feedback that we got just from the pregame, which is called Shameless, the Naughty Girl Awakened. And so these are the testimonials just from that. These 3 days haven't happened yet. They're gonna happen on August 15th, 16th, and 17th. The Shameless Naughty Girl Unleashed has happened, and that class alone is worth 1,111, and it's over 3.5 hours long. This tells you what you're gonna get from that. And then the price of the whole thing is 222. Then we meet live on August 15th, 16th, and 17th. So when you purchase this, what happens is this is what it looks like for you. Actually, let me show you. No, I did it wrong. I'm gonna show you preview all published lessons. I want to show you like how it would actually look for you, but my internet is acting funny. Let me see if it actually opens up. Otherwise, I'll just show you on the other screen. Ah, okay, I'll just show you on here. So when you go in right now, I apologize. I don't know why it's acting up. I wanted to show you guys. I think it's because it's using up too much for this, but basically you get part one, part two, and part three of the Shameless class, and it's about 3.5 hours long. I apologize. I don't know why it's not showing up. Yeah, I'll stop the screen share. See if it shows up later and then I can show you guys. Yeah. So that's how it works. So what I would want you to do then is I would want you to, when you purchase this, go ahead and watch those three parts. Go ahead and do the shame and guilt exercise that my husband has done with you guys in there, then listen to the transmissions that I gave you guys. And then on August 15th, 16th, and 17th, we'll be meeting live, planned for about 3 hours every day. And we will be breaking down what's actually happening with your desires and how it's blocking your dollars or your divine union, and where it's actually not a block, but it's like a skill set problem or a mastery problem or a consistency thing. And if it is a block, we give you the tools where you can actually work through them. So I wanted to show you the back end, but I don't know what is going on with my internet right now. I think it's because it was raining today, where it's oh my God, of course now it shows up. Okay, let me see if I can show you guys. Hello, lady. Oops, it started. Okay. I can show you guys now. Okay, there it is. So you get, this is the first one. This was like when Irfan did the cleanse with you guys. I think I can mute it, right? And then this is part two. And then this is part three. So all of this is available. Oh, it says it right here, 72 minutes, 70 minutes, 75 minutes. There you go. That's what I was trying to show you guys. So that's how that works. Okay, I'm glad I was able to get in there and show you. So I would love to have you guys in there. Any questions coming up from what I've shared today? Anything I can help answer? I can serve you. Oh, it's 101 people. 111. I love it. Before I let you go, see if you have any questions. What are you currently working on? I know there's a lag. I'll give you guys a few seconds. What were your key takeaways, if anything, from today's class? And for those of you guys that have a question, you can upgrade to VIP. I believe it's like $20 or $25 a month for YouTube membership. And you also get, I think there's 10 exclusive trainings in there that I've done on money and spiritual business. No questions, but I'm currently working on my marketing, more reach. That's my power move. How many people do you currently have, Christian? Because that's another thing too that I want to talk to about. A lot of times it's not a marketing thing, it's a sales thing. So they're two very different things. Marketing is it brings people in, sales converts. So marketing is foreplay and sales is the orgasm. It's like closing the deal. A lot of people that need more help with their sales skills will keep indefinitely marketing. I have had so many people I worked with where they had hundreds of thousands of people following them and they were like, "Oh, they're the wrong people. I just like need the right people." It's like if you can't sell to the people that are already there, it's not just a more people problem. How 10 a month? Okay. So can you are at least three of these people for every 10% are three of these people converting to sales? That's how you know that you're also like selling. So if for every 10%, if you can convert three of them, then you can scale that up. You can invite more people. But if there's 10 people in your world and at least three of them are not buying, it's more people aren't going to help. So what I would do first is sell to the people that are there because then you're working on both. I have seen so many YouTubers make this mistake. I was working with someone a few years ago and he had 1.4 million followers on YouTube and he didn't know how to monetize it. He was making just AdSense money, like when YouTube pays you, just good, but it wasn't what he could be making. And he was like, "Well, I feel like I need more people." I'm like, "No, you need to sell to these people because more people will not suddenly you won't know how to sell when you have 2 million people. In fact, the bigger your audience, it's sometimes more it's harder to sell sometimes because there's like you feel more like there's so many people watching you. I have more on my email list, but 10 are buying. Okay, well that's good. That means you know how to sell. You have a great product that people obviously need. And so, what I would do in your case is I would build like a framework where the same people are also buying other things. And then, yes, you should have some strategy to bring in more people. So that's wonderful, which I already know because I know your product. Like your product is amazing, but there's like a front end product and then there's like a bigger back end product. There's like other things that they can also sign up for. Eventually, they get like for me, like Kainath is like my home, my big thing. And eventually, like everyone that buys whatever my front end thing is, they eventually come into Kainat. That's the goal of like how it's set up. So that's wonderful. But 10 are buying. That's amazing. That means your offer is good. You know how to sell. Amazing. I'm so proud of you. You did that really, really quickly as well. So that's amazing. And we'll be going deeper into this on 14, is it 15, 16, 17? Let me see. I have it right here. In Desires, Dollars, and Divine Union. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, 15, 16, and 17. Plan for about 3 hours per session so we can really go deep into what everything I want to teach. And we have like grace and room. So thank you so much for joining me today for this training. I really had a good time and I will see you guys in Desires. Bye, everyone.